Good evening. I'm Dominic DeFrank, actor for Arcadius Entertainment and Media Films. Welcome to the 2019 Arcadius Film Fest special event for the Valdosta candidates for mayor debate. Before I introduce the moderators and candidates, I would like to go over the debate rules. The audience will be prohibited from excessive applauding or making noise during the debate, and may not do anything visible or audible to express support or opposition to any candidate during the debate. Violations will prompt immediate removal of audience members from the debate venue if the problem persists. Campaign props, materials, literature, hats, stickers, signs, or banners will be allowed inside of the Performing Arts Center. Audience members may use cell phones during the debate to record only and not for phone conversation. The moderators may interrupt if a candidate is straying from the question. There will be a coin toss for candidates opening and closing statements. The moderators will have the responsibility of reinforcing time limits. A timer will be implemented and a time limit will be placed on each question. Moderators will insist on civility during the debate between the candidates. Photography will be permitted in designated areas inside of the lobby of the venue. Reporters and producers will be permitted to interview candidates, attendees, etc. in the lobby after the debate. Now would all rise for the national anthem performed by Zachary Surratt. I would now like to present to you the moderators of the debate. From Game Changers, Angela Ward. And from the Roy Kirkland Show and the director of the Arcadius Film Fest, Roy Kirkland. And now I present the candidates running for the office of Mayor of Valdosta, Georgia. Kevin Bussey, J.D. Rice, Scott James Matheson, and David Sumner. And now we have a special presentation from Councilman Andy Gibbs.
Greetings. On behalf of Brian P. Kemp, Governor of the State of Georgia, I extend my warmest regards to RKDS Entertainment and Media as they host their second annual RKDS Film Festival in Valdosta, Georgia. It is an honor to host this event in our state. I want to welcome the distinguished guests, the directors, producers, actors, county and city government officials, the business leaders, and the Hollywood legend, Sonny Shorter. RKDS Entertainment and Media plays a crucial role in the well-being of our state through its dedication to fostering interest in the cinematic arts, further providing avenues to showcase the creativity of Georgians. We are a stronger state because of these committed efforts. I commend Roy Kirkland, Doug Sebastian, and all other individuals who have worked hard to make this event possible. The Kemp family sends our best wishes for a productive and successful film festival. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We're going to start the debate with my first question. And obviously, it pertains to the film industry. Got a little long statement to read here, so y'all bear with me, okay? And I'll ask the question. The film industry in the state of Georgia has an economic impact of nearly $10 billion. However, Valdosta and South Georgia remain far behind in supporting local filmmakers and attracting film companies from around the world to film in our areas, while Macon, Columbus, Augusta, Savannah, Atlanta, and even small towns like Sonoya and Jackson, Georgia continue to thrive. Mayor Jim Puckett of Fitzgerald, Georgia recently stated, and I quote, "We wanted to make it clear that we're not trying to just film a movie in Fitzgerald. We are trying to build a viable and sustainable industry in Fitzgerald, where people can become employed and they can eat in our restaurants and stay in our hotels, and we've got trained people here." My question to you, gentlemen, and Mr. Bussey, you can go first. What will you do as mayor to help grow the industry here in Valdosta and to help filmmakers make movies in our area?
Well, the first thing I think I would do is I'll get with you, Mr. Roy. You seem to be a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the film industry. So sitting down with you, working on this, strategize a plan to bring more film industry business here that can be valuable to revenue here in the city. So I'm all for it. But I would definitely sit down with the subject matter experts, and I think that would be the best way to go.
Mr. Rice?
Well, Roy, that's a good question that you asked that. Because Valdosta has had movies made here in the past. But the problem with doing business in Valdosta right now is the regulations that's required to even get a permit. Not only do you have the typical city departmental codes that you got to comply with, you have land development regulation codes, overlay districts, and things of that nature. But one of the things I would do as mayor is I would make the parent that Valdosta has to change our mindset when it comes to doing business in Valdosta. I recently read an article in Forbes magazine where Forbes ranked 200 small to medium cities as being business friendly. Athens ranked 6th nationwide. Hinesville, Gainesville, and Dalton, Georgia, all ranked ahead of Valdosta. So where did we fall in? Out of 200. We came in 125th. So when people look at Valdosta as being business friendly, and they read the Forbes magazine list, it gives them an indicator that Valdosta really don't want you here. So we have to change that mindset, because I know that's not true. here. So the first thing I would do is change the mindset of City Hall to make Valdosta more business friendly again.
But the Tourism Bureau and Film Bureau address that, but they don't have near the pot of money that they need, obviously, to draw somebody here. I think, well, you know, if somebody comes outside Atlanta, a film crew or company comes outside of Atlanta, all the union rules, all the hourly wage, all the production costs go up, so it's got to be a pretty significant pot of money to draw them to your area. Others have done it and done it well, and I'd be glad to look into something like that. I support it. I'd rather support more local, but sure, you'd love to have the big stars and the notoriety for your town. So it's already being addressed. It just probably needs to be better funded as well.
Boy, I'm going to be specific to your question. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. You have 100% of my support as Mayor Valdosta. I'll make sure that all agencies, law enforcement, zoning, you know what? We should be like every other community. We should be a barrier. We should be a roadblock. And I guarantee you, anything significant that you want to do as mayor, I'll give you 110% support.
Candidates, I would like to give an opportunity for you to present your opening statements.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. It means a lot to myself, to all the candidates. For the ones that I haven't got a chance to meet, I thank you as well for being here tonight. I'm Kevin Bussey. I was born and raised right here in Valdosta. I went through the Valdosta education system. I'm a very, very proud member to be of the Valdosta Wildcats. Go Cats. There was a story. Before my grandfather passed, he asked me, once you're done serving your country, where is it that you want to reside? And I told my grandfather I was unsure, didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time. And he said, son, follow your heart. And so, home is where your heart is. And so it led me back here to Valdosta, Georgia, after 13 years serving in the military. It brought me back here after serving in a career for the United States Department of Commerce in Washington, D.C. But it led me back here to implement all that I've learned throughout the years. And so my platform is very simple. It's something that we've heard many times before, but it's something that I'm hoping, if I'm elected as your next mayor, that we won't have to address again, which is the infrastructure, which is the social and economic development, transparency, and the number one is unity. What I plan for tonight, what I plan to accomplish tonight is for you to get a better understanding of who Kevin Bussey is, what my views and my values, my morals, what I stand for. Second, I want to hear from the audience, from you, the citizens of Valdosta, and your issues and your concerns, which are number one. And number three, for us to unify and do things more in a collaborative effort to move Valdosta forward. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm G.B. and I want to be your next mayor. And I'll tell you why. It wrenches my heart to see what's going on our southern border, with the way those children are being treated. To deny a child the basic necessities of life, to me, is less than America. But I see a similar situation right here in Valdosta, Georgia. You can ride around in Valdosta, and you'll see people living in conditions that should not be existing in 2019 in the United States. I want to do something about that. I have a plan that's going to start with our teenagers. I think every teenager between the age 15 and 17 that's in high school during the summer break should have a job. And the city should lead by providing a summer job training program. My motto is very simple. Put down those video games and pick up an application and go to work. I ran the Valdosta Fire Department for 18 and a half years. In 1992, when I was the assistant fire chief, I had a unique opportunity to do something under the leadership of Mayor Jimmy Rainwater. The city had invested $9 million in a project called Streetscape to revitalize downtown. Mayor Rainwater put together a commission of myself and several others to visit several Georgia communities, including Athens, Dalton, Gainesville, Georgia, and find out what they were doing in their downtowns to revitalize their cities. We came back and reported to the mayor that what they're doing with their downtowns is they're allowing restaurants to be open. They're allowing people to develop the second and third floor buildings into apartments, living spaces. And I had to write a report for mayor and council that allowed that to happen. My time is up? I didn't know I was done my hair. I didn't know. 2 minutes. I'm sorry, y'all. My platform is elect-jdrice.com. More information about it. Thank y'all for coming and thank y'all for hosting this forum. Thank you.
2 minutes. I timed it. My name is Scott James Matheson. I'm running for mayor of a town that I absolutely love. This town has given me a ton. I've enjoyed giving it right back to them. I've racked up 29 years with the volunteer hours, from charity route sits to river cleanups, to sitting on most of the charity boards in this town. I invited and interviewed over 750 guests from every walk of life each and every year to draw positive attention to their business or charity event, or city or county. I'm currently a co-chair of the One Lounge Valdosta initiative. I'm on the auditorium steering committee for this beautiful auditorium. I'm president-elect on the leadership lounge board and president in the year of 2020. And I dive in anytime our Chamber of Commerce calls, and they call often. You see me embassy many functions and charity events and dinners, and I've done so time and time again, probably close to 100 times. And I've never charged a dime. It's something I enjoy doing. It's a talent I have, so I enjoy helping out anybody's event. You ask me why I want to run for mayor? It's to lead this city with some progressive thoughts and to work quality projects in all four corners of our community. I have a very unique approach to public transit. I'll champion revitalization of substandard housing. He's right. Brings my wife to tears as we drive off the beaten path in town. I've had the opportunity to interview and aid the city. We love all the local school systems who come in, board authorities, university presidents, and had the city and county governments on there with me every other week for the past 25 years. And I've listened and learned from 4 different county chairmen and 3 different mayors over that period of time. I also served as a city councilman for 6 years and mayor pro tem for 2 in the city of London. Valdosta is the engine that makes it all run. We're the 14th largest city in our state. We drive the economy for South Georgia and North Florida. And I want to take every bit of that opportunity and experience I've had to lead the city with some vision, one that creates a self-sustaining economy that can fund our growth and revitalization instead of borrowing or taxing to do so. My name is Scott James Matheson, and I'd like to be your next mayor. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Sumner, and I want to be your mayor. When I left the meeting with Catherine Walden, Chief Statistician of the United States, Office of the President, in which she informed Mayor Rainwater, the city manager, and myself of Valdosta's status as an MSA, we're excited beyond belief. Our city was alive, and people were excited about our community, what it could offer. There was opportunity, room to grow and succeed. Today, our household income is $40,391. compared to $48,019 peak in 2008. Our per capita income is down, and many categories that measure success are down. Numbers that should be down are up, and numbers that are up should be down. Many of the same areas that received MSA status when we did are ahead of us. Brunswick, 43,000. Hinesville, 49,000. RHYNES, 54,000. I believe in free enterprise. Small business is the foundation and fabric of our city. City government must encourage businesses to grow and not hinder those opportunities. We must serve as a catalyst to propel growth rather than obstruct. We have many pressing issues today. These issues must be addressed. If you don't recognize these issues, how can you lead? Some of our authorities are operating under outdated models from the 1970s. If progress is not achieved, change is inevitable. I say we look for partnerships outside of the norm. We must be concerned about health care, industrial growth, and jobs. Our city is at a crossroad. Inexperienced leadership could take us down the wrong path. We must move forward. I have the experience and knowledge of city government to help all of Valdosta. When elected, all voices and all neighborhoods will be heard. Working together, we can build a better Valdosta. Thank you.
So candidates, what are your personal and professional experiences, and how do those experiences make you the most qualified candidate to serve as mayor? We can start with you, Mrs. Sumner.
Sure. I served on Valdosta City Council for 3 terms. During that time, I served as mayor pro tem and also served as mayor after the death of then Mayor G.B.R. I've been to Washington, D.C. 27 times. I've been to the lobby for the city of Valdosta. You know, my first day on the job, it's not going to be a learning experience. I understand city government very well. I understand state government very well. And I certainly understand federal government very well. We need experienced leadership. We don't have a minute to waste. The clock is ticking. When we became MSA status, our future was very bright. And unless you're doing really, really well, the job situation in our community is not as good as it should be. And we've got to have a city government that's going to step out and be a cheerleader, not only for our city, but for our high school, our educational system. When I'm elected, I'm going to be the #1 cheerleader for this community, and you're going to see change. Thank you.
My personal experience, brought to this town in 1990, paid minimum wage to do a job that found me. I said it was going to be a 2-year stopover, and I fell in love with this town. There's nothing else to say about it. Stayed and built my way up. Ran a radio group for 18 years for 3 different ownership groups. I stayed on as the only constant. Broke away out in 2007 and bought my own. I now own 4 radio stations. So I just kept my nose to the grindstone in the bad economy. Built something that I'm very proud of right now. I built it by getting back to this town. You can't walk into a bank and borrow that kind of money and not have those people that are sitting in front of you know what you stand for and what you're about. So again, I'm very proud of what I've built, and every step of that has prepared me for this very moment. Regulations, hurdles, and otherwise. It makes me uniquely qualified.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rice.
I think that what separates me from anybody else who's running is my experience in not only in budget management, when I managed a multi-million-dollar budget for over 20 years, but the jobs that I created. I was instrumental in creating a program, Wiregrass Technical College, which was Valtech at the time, that allowed students to get their firefighter certification, state firefighter certification, and be able to get employment anywhere in the country. So you need a mayor that not only can be a good steward of your tax funds, but a mayor who has the vision to help create jobs in our community. I was alluding to a project that I worked on when Mayor Rainwater was at the helm to help revitalize downtown. Our business community. I've been very instrumental in working with our business community and getting their programs and projects started. When a developer wants to come into Valdosta, I know what an environmental impact statement is. I know what land development regulations require. So you need somebody who has the vision to lead our city forward. I know that we got to do something to help our children. That's why I come out with a program that's going to create a job training program. I know that we got to do something about public education and public transportation. So those are issues that are very near and dear to me that we can move forward on. There's no reason in the world that Valdosta is the only metropolitan metropolitan city in Georgia that does not have public transportation. So those are some of the things that separate me from the other candidates. And I know I'm a good listener, but I'm also a doer. This election here has got to be about results. Who can produce? What have you done? And what can you do? And I tell you to look at my track record, you're going to see that hands down, G.B.R. is going to be the best candidate for mayor of Valdosta, Georgia.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bussey?
Well, I think part of the issue that we have here in Valdosta is what you've heard thus far. You heard the I mentality. In order for Valdosta to move forward, it's going to take all of us. It's going to take each and every one of you guys. My personal, all the things that I've done throughout my life, whether it be military, working in Washington, D.C., those are all great personal achievements that I've made. But the way that we move forward, the way that we take the city from being great to extraordinary is a we mentality. It's going to take each and every one of you. You have the puzzle piece. You have all the issues and concerns that need to be brought into City Hall. City Hall has to be more than just about the balancing of the budgets. It has to be more than about the tickets. It has to be somewhere that we can be relatable, resourceful in every community, on every side. And so that's what we're looking for, is a we mentality. And I think that's what separates Kevin Bussey from each and every candidate that sits here on the stage today. I can't do it by myself. It's going to be a collective mindset and a collective effort by each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bussey.
Gentlemen, what do you foresee as being the biggest challenge facing Valdosta in the coming 4 years, and how would you address it? Mr. Bussey?
I think the biggest issue here that we face in Valdosta is unity. We have to strengthen the unity of this community on every side, whether it be northwest, south, or east. We have to show more of a collaborative effort. We have to be a more inclusive community. If you remember nothing tonight, remember there's no money without a community. There's no community without no money without a community, no community without money. Which means that it's going to take the community for us to move forward. It's going to take unity, collaborative effort, inclusive community for us to be able to move forward in the city. Once we address those issues, sweep them out our own front door, everything else is going to follow. You're going to hear so much about economic development here, but we have to face the social development as well. It's going to take all of us fixing some of the issues at the lowest level, and everything else is going to fall into place. The jobs will come. The economic development will grow. Things will happen, but we first have to fix and sweep out our front door, and it starts with the unity. Thank you.
Economic impact. You got to put money in people's pocket. That's the bottom line. Those are coffee table issues that folks sit around and talk about. How are we going to make ends meet? How are we going to pay our bills? How can I send my kids to college? How can I take my kids on vacation? Valdosta has a 32% poverty rate. The average person that's living below poverty makes $9.87 an hour. That's $18,000 a year. That's almost $7,000 below poverty. You've got to do something to create economic impact. We've got to get better paying jobs here to lift people up financially. When a person feels good financially, they can do a lot of things that they normally wouldn't even dream about doing. So my first priority is economic development.
You couldn't be more right. Listen, so we want to brag, we're the top 15 in about a dozen categories statewide. But we're 14th, 15th largest city in the state. Then you hit wage. And we're 62nd. And that's up from about 85th. But boy, that's sure not climbing fast enough. That's atrocious. That's unacceptable. There's been different panels and groups working on it unsuccessfully. And everybody's got a reason for that. Some say old guard. That's good to go away. Others say opportunity has to be presented. Our college kids have to be retained. There's 1,000 things you got to work on. I sit in the co-chair what's called One Valdosta Allowance right now. It's an initiative to pull the university together, to pull our development authority. We've splintered our money in this town with so many different authorities that we're now enjoying small wins one after another, nothing large. So you gotta pull those people into the same room and kind of embarrass them. I know you were calling that a win yesterday, but it was a small win. We gotta work together, city county government, gotta pool their money, there's authorities that are going after that small win, gotta pool their money. We gotta have some big wins, people. We gotta have some huge wins, and hopefully that means economic development, economic stimulation, better paying jobs, but we are and should be embarrassed to be that low on that total goal for wage in the state. Gotta work together.
We've got to be a job creator, and the city has got to get involved. We can no longer expect an authority to do the work for us. We've got to lead ourselves. We've got to sell ourselves to the rest of the country. Mediocrity is our biggest issue. We've got to be big dreamers. When we became an MSA years ago, our plan was to be equal to Columbus, Macon, Savannah. We're struggling now to stay ahead of Moultrie, Tifton, and Thomasville. We've got to think bigger, but you've got to know how to pull those loose ends together. We have authorities, we have other governments that you have to work with, and we've got to have strong leadership. We've got to have experienced leadership that's been in the game. I helped negotiate the first service delivery contract that we did 20 years ago. I understand that, and we've got to work better and closer with other governments. We've got to have a good working relationship, and we've got to put food and money in this community, and that means industrial growth, that means industrial jobs, and that means giving people more spendable income so that we can enjoy a better quality of life that we're missing right now.
Jim, Angela, I'm going to have a follow-up. I'm sorry. I'll give you two of them. Okay, I just mentioned earlier about the film industry, how Valdosta is lagging behind. Folks, this isn't a big deal. This is a $10 billion industry we're talking about. People around here act like they don't even know what the world's going on, especially our leaders. $10 billion industry, and we're not taking advantage of it. This didn't just happen yesterday. This has been ongoing for years. Other communities are thriving while we're lagging. Now, they just mentioned things that we're lagging behind in other areas. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask each of you this question. Why is that? Mr. Bussey, what do you think? Why do you think that is?
I think the biggest issue, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but I think the biggest issue is unity. We have issues that need to be bridged between the county and the city. We have issues between the north and the south. We have issues of race in our city, in the city. There's so many issues in the city that have to be rectified before, and work more in a collaborative effort for us to be able to move forward with the film industry, with the SDS, with, if you're looking at, you see the greatest democracy each and every day. And we got to find somebody and have somebody with some experience as an experienced leader to bring us together. And I think everything that we find to be an issue or discrepancy now, you'll see it start to puzzle up. You'll see the pieces start to come together. But it's going to take all of us working together. And right now, that's the problem. None of us are working together.
Complacency. Folks are afraid of change. Folks are apprehensive of the unknown. That's why Valdosta adopted the land development regulation. I talk about that. That's a regulation that is so thick and so restricted that it's easier to build a high-rise building in Atlanta, Georgia than to open a business in downtown Valdosta. It's there for a reason. Folks, we have got to realize Valdosta is not Mayberry anymore. We are metropolitan cities. We offer a lot of things that other cities don't have, and we need to take advantage of it. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar film industry. Fayetteville County, Georgia, has a movie studio. Tyler Perry took Fort McPherson and bought a studio in Atlanta, made a studio there. We need to take that same zest that we have on Friday nights, during the fall, when we're cheering for the Cats, and put it into our community to better the folks who live here, their lives economically. Woo!
I think Roy's going to get more and more frustrated as the evening goes on.
I'm very passionate about it, yes.
He happens to know that probably the lowest end wage on a film crew is $5, $10 an hour higher than everything we're talking about here tonight for average wage in this town. So he knows that one splash would mean a whole lot to a lot of people. I think he realizes that. Here it is again, complacency. This city draws 22% of all its non-ag income from government jobs. Our university, Louis Air Force Base, our local governments, our school systems. You know that should be an advantage, and we've turned it into a disadvantage. The average across these fine United States is 11% for any given community. We're double the national average on reliancy on a governmental dollar. We are not producing it ourselves. So we've got to spur local business, we've got to spur entrepreneurship, we've got to spur that, people, because we're not doing our half of the equation. It's a nice advantage to have those during the economic meltdown. We called it just that. We're bulletproof. We got Louis Air Force Base. They're not going anywhere we go. The university, that medical center. When you factor all that, we've gotten lazy. That's the problem. It's complacency.
You know, years ago, we had leadership in the city that said we were inflation-proof, recession-proof, and that we could absorb anything. And what happened is Moody shrunk, Valdosta State shrunk. Everything that could shrink in our local economy did. And it hurt us. And we thought we were the boomingest city in America when the entire country was booming at that time. Cities have come out of this recession. We haven't. We need vision. We need all jobs, Roy. In your industry, what a blessing that would be to bring that to Valdosta. We don't need to be picking and choosing and saying we don't want this industry and we don't want that industry. At this point in time where we're at, we're getting younger and we're getting poorer. We should want any industry. We've got to have higher wage jobs, and we've got to have more jobs. And it's going to take experienced leadership working with other organizations and other governments to do that. And I'm going to promise you one thing. When I'm elected mayor, I'll be the biggest cheerleader for this community. And I will go after industry like you've never seen before. We'll use the most modern tools. We'll use data mining, analytics. I just question all the time, are we not using the modern tools that are available to go out and find an industry that would be compatible with our community? When I'm a mayor, we're going to do that. We're going to bring jobs to this community.
Well, I guess this definitely flows in our next question. In your opinion, what is the most wasteful expense in the city's operating budget at the moment? And what would you do to address the problem in office? Mr. Bussey.
Well, I'm going to get back and do a little bit more study to find out what is the most wasteful. I'm looking over the budget, but I'd rather do a little bit more research before answering that question.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rice.
Well, we spend a lot of money on items that we can tighten our government. The city and county has something called a service delivery agreement, which means that the city shouldn't be paying for services that the county don't provide us. But there are some departments that I would like to look at that could be doing the same, that are doing the same job that can be merged into one department, such as the engineering department. I don't see why there's a need to have a county engineering department and a city engineering department. They're doing the same job. A lot of times they're working on the same projects. Public works. Why, if someone lives in Foxborough, on the fringes of Valdosta, why couldn't the city and county have one public works department? I know the city couldn't go to Naylor and pick up trash, but it could certainly put those fringe areas. So there's some areas that are duplicating services that I think we could look at and save taxpayers money. But it's like, it's turf protection. You in Valdosta, we're in Lounge. You're in Lounge, we're in Valdosta, and the two should never sway. And that's an taxes and county taxes. So, yeah, there's some areas we can look at and eliminate the duplication of services that's provided by local entities.
Oh, listen, let me take a moment on this. Applaud him for negotiating the first service delivery agreement, because they ain't done it since. If you want to save some money, how about the $1.5 million they spent on lawyers battling this thing for the last 2 years? We should all be screaming. I'd encourage you to stand up right now and scream just to let it out. I'm not kidding. $1.5 million, the two sides have spent on legal counsel battling that agreement that he got done all that time ago, that the next 2 cycles they haven't been able to pull off without going to litigation, to appeals, and otherwise. That is atrocious. There's one big one right there. There's a dozen others that I can spit out. Don't stop there.
You're right, service delivery, it should be settled politically, not legally. And that's the issue that we have going right now. A lot of the things that J.D. talked about is correct, but without service delivery agreements, you're not going to be able to accomplish a lot of that. And you've got to get along with those people across town in the county. We are Lowndes County, by the way. The city of Valdosta is Lowndes County, and we pay county taxes, and we should be treated equally. I would not be telling you the truth if I said that I could go in and pick a specific item in our current budget that would be wasteful. Our budget is tight as it can be right now. We've had a downturn in a lot of areas. And you realize the city government is one of the largest employers in our city. And I would hate to cut one budget to hurt another department that would affect salaries of first responders, all those type of people. So I can't tell you right now exactly what needs something to cut, but I do know I've been involved in that budget cycle. And you have to work with members of council. I'm not running for king. I'm not running for president. I'm running for mayor. And the mayor is the leader, but members of council are the ones that sit down and develop that budget. And this is a very difficult process, and it's been time-consuming, and there's a lot of thought that's been put in it. So I would tell you that when I'm mayor, that budget process will be fully vetted, and citizens will have an opportunity to voice on how we spend our money.
The South Valdosta economy desperately needs rebuilding. How do you plan to advocate for more restaurants and shopping amenities?
That's a very good question. And the south end of town is, it's really hurting. We are in need of revitalization over there. But I think it's the community. I think that I heard someone say earn, learn, return. Meaning for our children that go and get a Valdosta education, or whether it be from BSU, GMC, to go out and learn, and then return and give back to our community. What we're doing is we're coming back, but we're not giving to that side of the community. We're building more of the north end of town. And so I think that we have to do a better job implementing and initiating more businesses, small businesses over on the south end of town to bring some light to that side of town. But I believe it's a community issue. The city, we can do a better job, but I do believe that we're heading in the right direction with the revitalization. There's some things that we need to touch upon, some issues that we need to rectify, but the city is moving in a great direction to revitalize the south end of town, I believe. But as far as the community, we have to do a better job as well.
Mr. Rice?
Repeat your question for me. I didn't get the first part.
Absolutely. The South Valdosta economy desperately needs rebuilding. How do you plan to advocate for more restaurants and shopping amenities?
That's an untapped resource. Right now, as we speak, the only grocery store on the south side is Save-A-Lot. There's one bank on the south side. There's very little economic input put into the south side of Valdosta, which is embarrassing. Because the south side pays taxes just like the north side does. And it needs to be invested into just like the mall area, just like the Perimeter Road area is. That's a valuable resource. It's not being taken advantage of. And the city needs to be instrumental in providing opportunity. One of the things that's difficult that people don't realize is the amount of red tape to open up a business. I know my time is running short. I'm gonna give you a quick example of how this red tape is. Now, we had bought some buildings from St. John's Catholic Church, put on our training field at the fire department, which required us to cut some trees down. The city arborist objected to cutting down pine trees in South Georgia. So we had to replant those trees. And I was trying to explain to them, the fire department don't need trees for training. We need space for our trucks. And he was stuck on the idea, but the regulation says, Chief, look, sometimes you have to use common sense. And common sense tells me that if we don't invest into the south side, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So we got to cut the red tape to encourage people to invest in all of Valdosta. Now, I agree with Kevin on that. We are one community. And we need to act like that.
Thank you.
I got about a dozen of them. I'll pick out 3 quick ones. I got frustrated with the city again over the last couple of months. They wanted to extend our streetscape in our beautiful downtown. I just owned the building down there for the last 13 years, sold it in September. They wanted to extend that beautiful streetscape project that was not paid for by the city. It was paid for by an extended millage rate on the shop owners in downtown. We just got out of that. They taxed us at 44 mils per thousand, which is double what anybody out there is paying right now. They just took that streetscape project and they got this dream to get to college with it, and that's wonderful. So they just started out on most beautiful street. They just started revitalizing our most beautiful street, which is Patterson, start to finish. Instead of going south over the overpass, past that Save-A-Lot, and right to that railroad track right there, and make it a gateway into our downtown.
Yes, sir.
That's a project that would have lifted up every shop down there, property values down there, our tax digest on the way in. It would have been right for development. That's one. I got a second. The old timers remember the Weed program. It was federally funded. We could fund it locally. A couple of $1 million hanging into a Habitat for Humanity to rebuild substandard housing, to go through the town and look at the horrible conditions that we've already talked about tonight and say it's time to revive it. That was a wonderful program. It was in full swing about the time the G.B.R. Work Project came to town and explored in that little community out before us. And the final one was my transportation program, because with it come jobs. No initial outlay when you go Uber and Lyft and subsidize it. You can move anybody, you can pick them up at their front door, and if the demand's high in that program, guess what? You're hiring more Uber and Lyft drivers. If you could move people's money about this town, you can stimulate the economy, and that's just 3.
Thank you, sir. Is this on that?
Now, I think your question was how can we expand mercantile and restaurants in the southern part of the city, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, when I was on council, we had the MLK corridor project. And the last meeting I was at, I told that council that we needed to finish that project, and that project did not get finished. We had a beautiful monument downtown, and the whole idea was the streetscape and to bring minority businesses down there. I had a vision of C.H. Mitchell's barbecue coming back into our community. I saw a vision of clothing stores. I saw it as a place that would attract people from out of town that was unique to my community. We were going to have a farmer's market downtown. That did not develop, and I don't know why. But I think that's, if you want the fastest way to really help and benefit, we need to expand the MLK corridor and make it what we originally planned. The plan was beautiful. And I would tell you that when I'm elected mayor, that definitely is going to be a project that we're going to relook at and see if we can't redevelop that corridor.
Thank you, sir. Roy?
Gentlemen, you've lived here long enough to realize that for some reason, for the past many years, residents just seem unattached to City Hall. I mean, it's like people come up to me and say they're just not interested in voting. You know, how do you plan to involve the residents in the decision-making process of our city? And how can we get people more involved with these decisions that are being made? A lot of things are being done without even the citizens' knowledge And it's really the citizens' fault because we don't show up for council meetings. We don't see these things that are being approved, these $900 million deals that are being done, all these downtown developments that are going on that is happening for some, but for some small businesses that have been here for years, they don't get that kind of help. What can we do to change this type of thing?
I think that we first got to take a different approach. There's a big disconnect between City Hall, just like there's a disconnect between citizens and law enforcement. The way that you bridge that gap is to revitalize the communities. You got to get, if you want people to go out and vote for you, give them something to vote for.
Did I say 900 million? I meant
You did.
900,000.
Yeah, no, I don't change it. You got to give them something to vote for. You got to give them quality leadership, somebody that they can trust. And right now, there's not so much of a trust between this, the City Hall and the elected officials. There are individuals that are, and one thing that you'll find about me, Roy, is that I'm just a straight shooter. You'll find out that there are some individuals on that that's in City Hall. Where have they been? What have they done? The race, it's been a race, and the baton is not being passed off. The median age here is 28 years old. But we're the least most represented here in the city of Valdosta. So we have to bridge that gap. We're losing out on innovation, we're losing out on technology. And it's a generation, the millennial generation has that set, they have that tool to be able to bridge that gap between the 62 and above personnel that want to run for the position of mayor. But can you represent, can you reach down and talk to those millennials and they understand you? So if you want the millennial generation, if you want the biggest generation to go out and support and vote, you have to give them something to vote on. And right now they don't see it, and that's why you see the turnout that we get.
You have to engage people. You have to make people realize, help people realize that they matter. When people feel their concerns are genuinely heard, their voices count, then they're more apt to work and get things done. Right now, we're leading from the top down. We need leadership from the bottom up. The people's voice needs to be heard. You can look in the communities and tell that the people's voice is not being heard. When you ride down Forest Street, and there's not a sidewalk on Forest Street, but you ride out Country Club Drive, and there's sidewalks on Country Club Drive. Nobody walks on Country Club Drive. I mean, let's just be real about it. And what's going on? Well, we're going to put sidewalks. You don't need sidewalks there. You need sidewalks where people walk. That's common sense. People got to feel like they matter to you. It's just like running a family, a household. You want everybody in the household to feel like you love them and you care about them. They can come to you and talk about what's going on. The city's the same way. You've got to let people know you matter. And when I come in here, I'm going to show you matter. The same way I did the fire department. I know my time's running short. When I wanted to buy new fire trucks, I put together a committee. I didn't want anybody on my staff in that committee. My view was simple. There ain't a fire chief or a captain in the fire department going to fight a fire. The firefighters are going to fight the fire. They're going to be the ones to tell us what we need. Let's try things from the ground up.
So I'm going to involve you whether you like it or not. When I'm mayor, we're taking the meeting to you. We're not going to sit in City Hall every time. There's other cities doing this around the country too. They're taking it. They'll go to the Milford Hundred Center. We're going to go everywhere in this town.
To decrease the crime rate within our youth. Mr. Bussey.
Repeat that question one more time.
Okay. If elected as mayor, throughout your tenure, how would you develop the relationships between schools and local organizations to decrease the crime rate within our youth?
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that I'm going to do, if you see fit to let me answer this there, there's a compensation pay. How much it is. That compensation pay will be given back to the community, to nonprofit organizations. I will accept it now, and I think by law I have to accept a penny or a dollar. Again, it's not about the money for this position. It's about the needs of our city. It's about our children. And so all of that money will go towards nonprofit organizations. It will go back to mentorship programs, things that the city really needs, because we have to give back to our kids. The education here in Valdosta is more of a state issue. But having a seat at the table gives us an opportunity to bridge gaps between the superintendent. Give us an opportunity to have a seat at the table to have discussions, create committees, and find out what the needs of the children, the needs of the families. But that is one way that I want to give back to the elected administration. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rice?
Here again, it's all about numbers. I think having these kids in a job training program in some high school is going to help. But on a more serious note, Valdosta has a serious homelessness problem, especially children. There are hundreds of children in Valdosta, Georgia, that don't know where they're going to sleep the next day. And we have got to address those issues head on. Just like we can't be afraid to say that we have gangs in Valdosta. They're here. They have to be addressed. Keeping our head in the sand and saying that they don't exist is not going to solve the issue. Sometimes you've got to look things straight on and rub your shoulders back and say, not in my community, not in my town. We got to put a program that's going to help these children while they're in school. Because when they come out of school, they're going to become delinquents. And when they become adults, they're going to become incarcerated. And that's not the answer. Education, participation, is more an answer to our problem than anything else we can do. After school programs help, job training help, counseling help, providing subsidies for housing helps. When a person is hungry and homeless, they're going to look for alternative methods to do something about that. And that's when you're going to have your crime. And that little girl that got shot the other night, that was one of my students. I'm still mourning about that. But that happens because we as a community have lost our way.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Mrs. Scott?
This summer jobs program, to keep those people idle, to keep it idle, put down and make them not idle. They sit around, they're looking for trouble. They're staying out, they're looking for trouble. Or it's going to find them one of the two. So summer jobs program, skills in school, what Wiregrass is doing now, that model that Valdosta High School has on the side, it looks like a technical college. It's teaching a skill. College isn't for everybody. I got news for you. College debt seems to be for everybody, but college is not the education. So the summer jobs program is something we tried in Bremerton, but that was easy because it was a 1 square mile town, and that was community policing. That's easy to sit there and tell your 10-person police force, you're 1 square town, to be community cops. If they're in our town, get them to their house. If they're driving through our town to break the law, to drive drunk, to drive through stop signs in a danger our residents, you lost them. So community policing, and that just made every single person know, every single one of them cops on a first-name basis. It's a nice way to go about it. A little bigger in Valdosta, a little bigger challenge for what we're trying.
You know, a while ago I said part of the problem here is people not thinking big and dreaming and moving forward. And that in our age, we're a metropolitan statistical area. We're an entitlement city. We get the same benefits as Los Angeles, New York, Miami. And there are programs that are available. We should have a grant writing department in the city that should help anybody that wants to formulate a grant to help children. We should be right there helping them write those grants and using the power of the city of Valdosta to to find those programs that are available by using the power of us being an MSA. And when I'm elected mayor, we're going to use those powers that are given to us by the federal government, and we're going to find solutions. And we're going to look at other communities, and we're going to do what works, and we're going to bring it to this city.
Thank you, sir. Lori?
John, there's been talk about the city purchasing this facility, all of it. How do you feel about that? What do you think would be a great thing for this to become? And I have another question to ask you after you answer this.
Well, I don't know too much about, I've heard the rumors that the city has an interest in buying the old Valdosta High School and the Home Art Center. What they decide to do with it, I'm not sure.
What do you think it should be? What would you like to see if the city did?
I really can't say. I'm not sure what they would. I would rather have to sit down with some of the city council members, some of the department heads, and see what they're trying to do with the city now, with this building. Anything that can bring revenue to the city, anything that can be promising for it, we're all for it.
Mr. Rice?
Buy it for what? What are they gonna do with it? We wasted money on 5 points. We bought 5 points. What are we doing 5 points? Nothing. We need another nothing? No, we ain't gonna do it.
What do you think what should happen?
Well, if there's a private entity want to buy it, yeah, but not the city. We got other needs besides buying this building here. Forming oxygen and bread, but the rest of the school, no. What we should spend our money on is the old Niles County Courthouse, renovating that beautiful building and make a museum out of it.
Yes.
Or a library downtown out of it. That's what you should do.
It's a softball for me, and I'm in total disagreement with it. Lounge County Courthouse already has $2 million being spent on it currently. Celine Gladden's the architect. She's super excited about the project. $2 million doesn't go a whole long way when you're talking about granite and historic windows, but it's still a good start. This building and this campus is the biggest win we've come across. They don't drop into your lap like this every day. I'm on the steering committee for this. I sit in every single meeting for this. Our first task was, what should we do? Build a $40 million auditorium on that visual 5 Points purchase? That was an embarrassment to the city. Those people out of Jacksonville were forced to sell it to the city of Valdosta under the threat of eminent domain. What the hell was that? We went down there for a meeting, they threw us out, so we came back and formulated that. Threat of eminent domain. You sell it to us or we'll make you a fair price. What is that? And now we've sat on it, and the thing's still an eyesore, it's still rotting. So here's what they tasked me to do. They said, you go talk to Lowndes High School, because they're about to build an auditorium. Here's that thinking again. You go talk to VSU, because they're trying to get funded to build one at the old theater. Talk to our entity, which is sitting on that steering committee for an auditorium, those two, and see if we can't do something bigger. Lowndes High School, unfortunately, I met with them, was building theirs under roof, so they couldn't do anything but it. Valdosta State University did not get funded in the design phase, so we're back to just us. This is a win. This campus is a major win. We sell Mathis Auditorium for close to $3 million to that hospital. We sell that 5 Points property for whatever we can get out of it, $8 or $10 million. We purchased this for shy of $4 million in the $3 million range. We're going to purchase this entire campus. We already have 2 tenants. We have the alt school and one of the academies already paying the city rent to be in this building. This auditorium is a neat, it's modern, it's got modern everything. It's just a win, people, through and through.
I was a council member that made the motion to get $500,000 to the art center when we were first building. That was unbelievable that we did. The county decided that we do it. That's how we built an art center downtown. I put $780,000 in our budget to do a study and to do the architectural plans for a performing arts center. My vision was to build a performing arts center, world class, in conjunction with the convention center, where we can bring off-Broadway plays in between Atlanta and Jacksonville, and we use it as a reason to bring tourism and people to our community to use restaurants and so forth. This is a patch, small thinking. This will keep up with Thomasville and Moultrie, but it won't keep up with Macon and Savannah and other MSAs. We've got to be bigger thinkers. We're an MSA, and we've got to move forward, and we've got to have forward thinking. We can't think small, we've got to think bigger. My idea is to work with Valdosta State University, like they do in other communities with their universities, and build a world-class performing arts center that will accommodate the needs of everybody in our community.
My follow-up on that is concerning Mayoral Auditorium. And for those of you who don't realize this, there are businesses and companies like ourselves who need a venue. I thought my mouth was loud enough. One of the things I wanted to bring up was Mathis Auditorium too, because as a business and doing the stuff that we're doing, it's hard to find a place to rent, to put on an event. I mean, it's basically right now being used, Mathis and this place, for a lot of dance recitals. I know because we film them. And it's hard to bring in your bigger celebrities here to this city because they want a larger venue, and we don't have that. Tipton has the Hunt Center, and it holds 3,000 people. That's Tipton, Georgia. Again, I'm comparing cities like Tipton and Fitzgerald up to Valdosta, and it's sad. And no disrespect to them, because they're working hard to grow, and they're doing it, and we're not. So I guess, and Scott, I'm going to direct this to you because you just mentioned selling Mathis to the hospital, that would be a good thing. I spoke to both directors and some other officials and stuff, and they were talking about how either one of these facilities could not handle the other one plus what they're doing right now. So where's that going to put us if we do that? And if the city doesn't own this and a private company comes in and buys this, they're going to treat us the way that ESU treats us now. They won't let us in. They won't let us use it. And yes, I said that about ESU because it's true.
So Development Authority and a few others obviously had a lead on this building, something similar to PCOM, the Philadelphia College of Osteopathy, I think that is easy for me to say. It landed in Moultrie because we couldn't get a working agreement for that school and its graduates to work at our medical center. Once again, we were split. So that was the one chance the school had upon being abandoned. I had a leadership lounge bus full of last year's class, 30 people in all. I was going to pull into this parking lot, make them all get off, and then not get back on until they could suggest a best use for what was going to fast become a very large blighted property and drag down all the property values of the homes around this place. You don't find best need for this, you're in trouble. This whole area is in trouble as well. Every single person that's heavily involved in Mathis is going to have to do the exact same thing here. That is a subsidized facility. We lose $500,000 a year just to keep the lights on. They're renting for $350,000, which they're going to do with this place as well. And it costs them $1,000, $1,500 to keep the lights on that night. So that's a community investment. That's a quality of life issue that's going to extend to here, but much more modern. Modern lights, modern sound. Much larger than addressing loading docks that Mathis doesn't have. Anybody that comes to play there now has to rent a scissor or a forklift or a scissor lift just to get their equipment from the truck inside Mathis. This answers just about every question, including revitalization on this property. I'd like to move the Valdosta Parks and Rec Authority here as well. Get them off of Forest, which they've outgrown a long time ago. Get it. They got a ball field to operate, a track to operate, a basketball court to operate, if they were right here. They say that doesn't fit their master plan.
Repeat the question. I mean, we went off on a lot here.
It's basically, would it be wonderful for a good idea for the city to purchase this and also maybe renovate Mathis Auditorium, or either sell both and build a facility like in Tipton? I mean,
Well, yeah, we've had this discussion last week, what I was saying is that the convention center is too small. United Methodist wanted to come to Valdosta for their Southern Conference. Hotel facilities were great, restaurants were great, but the convention center could not accommodate. It's too small. We need to build a real convention center. We need to add on to that convention center. Now, the issue is what's going to happen to, Mathis Auditorium has provided great services to many families and organizations for a long, long time. And yes, it's been subsidized. Not everything in government can make a profit. And that's part of the quality of life of living in the city, of getting a service that the city is willing to give to you for you to use. And it meets a very substantial need. I don't know if this facility, how long it's going to last. It's not going to last very long. 900 people, I guess this place holds 900 people, that's what they said. That's not a lot of people. Not for a metropolitan statistical area that would like to bring Broadway plays, off-Broadway plays to our community and make it a first-class organization. We can do better, and we need to refocus that idea, in my opinion.
Mr. Rice?
I've got no use for this place. This is actually smaller than Mathis. It's actually smaller than Cairo High School's auditorium. And the reason I know Cairo High School's auditorium is larger, my granddaughter was just over there 2 weeks ago in a dance recital. When we can't beat Cairo High School, when we can't beat Hinesville, Georgia, Tifton, Georgia, there's something wrong. And just like David said, we're a metropolitan city.
Hey, J.D., don't they call us a little theater?
Go Castro. But we have got to be able to compete. Now, Albany has a Coliseum. Macon has a Coliseum. Savannah has a Coliseum. Columbus has a Coliseum. And we call ourselves Metro. Now, I know a Coliseum ain't going to make a whole bunch of money. But when you do have United Methodist want to come to Valdosta, or the International Association of Black Professional Firefighters want to come to Valdosta, or Jehovah's Witness, or AME, or whoever wants to come to Valdosta, not having a facility should not be an issue. We've got 4,000 hotel spaces in Valdosta. But our largest auditorium only seats 1,100 people. That's magic. They want to sell it. The one that seats 900. We got to think outside the box. We got to think broke. I don't have any use for this place.
Build a football stadium.
I think that I can agree to the same as the gentleman. Mathis, I think we might wrong. But here we have an opportunity to purchase this building. We can revitalize this building. I think that we can put this building to use. I think that we have something special here. I think that we can use it. The problem is to me that I hear them to continue to say that we're metropolitan, but we're still a rural area. No matter the metropolitan status that we have. Yes, think big, but the problem is that we need to understand who we are. We're Valdosta. We don't have to be in Atlanta, we don't have to be Jacksonville, we don't have to be Tallahassee. Let's just be the best of our responsibility. So I would love to utilize everything that we have right here. This is, and I can tell you this, Roy, I'll shout out about if I'm elected your next mayor, you have RHYNES, hopefully with the city council blessing, you have RHYNES to use this building to bring on more great activities like you've done this week.
Small businesses are vital to the city of Valdosta. With Georgia's business climate being ranked #1 for the 6th year in a row, how do you plan to be a voice for the small business community? Mr. Sumner.
Well, I believe in free enterprise, and I believe in the American dream. I think people should have an opportunity. And without small business, our city is really nothing. And I think that the city can work to make businesses a reality. Part of the issue is we have many roadblocks and zoning codes. We need to re-look and rethink, especially in certain areas of towns dealing with older buildings. Small business is an economic engine that provides jobs in our community. And the city has got to be a voice for the small business owners. We've got to use every power we can within our means to help support small businesses and to encourage them and to help them grow. And we've got businesses that have been here for a very long time that are struggling today. I'll be a cheerleader. I work extremely hard. We use the power of our city and our status as an MSA to hunt and find, to help these small businesses through enterprise zones, lending. I currently serve on a committee that lends money to businesses throughout South Georgia and 18 county area through the SBA. And I understand economic development. And there are small businesses that are growing up all around us that, given the opportunity and the direction of where to go to find funding, they can be successful. And I'll use that knowledge and experience that I've had there for the last 10 years to help move small business forward in our community.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Scott?
There's not a person here that doesn't have some nightmare story or a buddy that has a nightmare story about trying to get a business up and established or open or otherwise, or grow. I just got to the finish line of mine. And on the last day when we went to get the certificate of occupancy, when I was renovating the old WJEM building at that 84, they denied our certificate of occupancy because they were going to force me to sign off on city water and sewer. So I started the project, I went through their first step in their notice. Their table, they didn't offer the services out there. While we were sitting there renovating that building, they started digging a pipe across the front of that property and then tried to force me onto that. At the end, I spent $10,000 to retool the septic. I spent another $6,000 to do a big deep well and have a nice sized pump on that thing. And then they showed up at the finish line and tried to tell me I had to sign off on city water and sewer. They weren't going to sign off on my project. I had everything sunk into that. Everything. So get out of the way, help small business, encourage their growth, get them up and operating. If you get them up and operating in 3 months' time as opposed to a year, they're on the tax digest, they're on the tax rolls. What are you delaying them for? You're your own worst enemy as a city or county government. So help them. They do a first step process. I'm asked to do a second step process. Embed somebody with them and help them get over. Don't get in their way. Help them overcome whatever hurdle they run into. Don't be that hurdle.
Mr. Rice?
Anybody here like Big Nick's restaurant beside me? You know, Big Nick's almost didn't happen because of regulation. Same type of regulation that Scott's talking about that tried to hinder him from opening up his establishment. He had the same.
It ran out of business one time before.
It did. The same type of regulations, that red tape. You want to see how a city appreciates their small businesses? Ride through the downtown. If you see a thriving downtown, you see a city that appreciates small business. Ride to Thomasville. Ride to Tiffin. Ride to Tallahassee. Ride to Jacksonville. Ride to any, it doesn't matter where you go. If you see a thriving downtown, that city appreciates their small business. And they come back and ride through Valdosta. That tells you all you need to know right there. If you don't take care of your small businesses, your city's going to die. Bottom line. Small businesses employ more people than any industry in America. They are the heartthrob of our nation. We have got to take care of those who take care of us. And that's our small business owners and our small businesses. That's one thing I'm going to do as mayor. I am going to instruct our department heads to look internally and see what red tape can be eliminated. I keep talking about this LDR, this Land Development Regulation. We adopted as a city virtually verbatim the same regulations that Orlando adopted. That's where our regulations come from. You can't build
I think we first need to identify what do we want Valdosta to be. Do we want it to be a small business community? Do we want it to be a big industrial park area? We need to first figure out what our identity is here in Valdosta. Small business gives us everything that we need here. It's the biggest revenue in our city. There is some red tape, and I believe that all of us, I would hope that all of us have an idea to go in and want to revamp those policies and procedures to go and look into our charter and see if things that needs to be revamped. But I think we need to first figure out what our identity is, because I'm somewhat confused because you guys want to bring in the big businesses and big jobs, but that all it does is take away from the small businesses. It removes them. We're now pretty much removing the biggest revenue that we have here in the city, which is our small businesses. So I think we need to first figure out what our identity is, what we want Valdosta to be, and then I think we move forward from there. But small businesses is the way I believe that Valdosta continues to move and grow. But bringing in these big multi-million-dollar businesses that I hear so many people speak of, all they do is draw off the small businesses, and then if something was to happen, and that big business leaves, then it hurts our city. And so I think that we just need to first figure out what our identity is, and then we move forward from there.
Can I just respond to that?
Sir?
Can I respond to that?
Actually, I've got 2 or 3 more questions. I've got 1,000 questions.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to just, I'm going to start off with you, Mr. Sumner. I'm going to let you guys end it on 2 minutes each, and you say whatever it is you need to say. How's that?
That's great.
We're going to wrap this up.
Do we have time?
This election may be the most important election in our lifetime. Our city has struggled over the past year. Mayor John Gale has done an excellent job of leading the city. He came in during a difficult time. John brought a calming effect to our city. He cooled down many hot items and helped bring people together. For that, I am most grateful to Mayor Gale. It's been an honor to be raised in Valdosta. No matter where I go, I'm proud to call Valdosta home. Our legendary Valdosta High coach, Nick Hyder, taught us about winning and laid out the foundations of leadership and teamwork. 2 principles that I've always applied to my daily life. When elected mayor, I will work hard as a team leader and actively lead this city, work with the city council and all citizens to make Valdosta the very best it can be. For job growth, prosperity, low property taxes, and an improved quality of life, vote for me, David Sumner, for mayor. When elected, all neighborhoods and all voices will be heard. Working together, we can build a better Valdosta. Thank you.
I don't think I even have to hop up. Good job. I want to be your next mayor. Mayor's a semi-figurehead position, semi-lobbyist, semi-visionary. It's a dozen things, but if you can't convince those 7 council members, you're done. You better have a line you can stand in. I got a couple of lines statewide. I've nurtured just about every state official right now, right up the ladder, as I sat and interviewed for the last 25 years. So they're sitting and waiting to help. Vivian Cody is in this year's current leadership allowance class, to which I'm president-elect. Sandra Tooley sat on this very auditorium committee, still sitting on it. We're about to have our final vote in 2 days. So we'll dissolve that committee after that. But Sandra sat on it, and Sandra and I were both in agreement to first talk about renovating Mappus, and then when this dropped in our lap, the city of Valdosta talked about buying this for shy of $4 million. We changed gears quickly. That renovation for Mappus got upwards of $10 million. People, that's not good money spent. And then if I work my way down, I've been talking with Sonny for 25 years. I got another councilman, Tim Carroll, who's my dearest friend. Andy Gibb, who opened today, is as fine a man as you ever want to talk to. You got a good council and you need good leadership. I'd like to be that leadership, and I know I can sit down with each and every one of them. I can talk with each and every one of them, and we can do big things together. I really appreciate your vote for the next mayor of Valdosta. Thank you.
I think of opportunity. Valdosta has the potential to compete with every metropolitan city in Georgia outside of Atlanta. We are the only metropolitan city in Georgia outside of Atlanta that's served by two major interstates. Interstate 75 runs through our backyard, and Interstate 10 is right down the road. We have the third longest runway of any airport in Georgia outside of Atlanta and Savannah. So any plane you can land in Augusta, Columbus, or Macon, you can land in Valdosta. But any plane you can land in Valdosta, you can't land in Columbus, Augusta, or Macon. We're served by two major railroads that can help relieve some of the traffic at the second largest container ship port on the East Coast, and that's Savannah. Right now they're putting all those cars and cargo ships, containers on trucks. Cordele convinced the governor to make Cordele an interport city, and they're shipping those container ships by rail. But they had to build a rail spur from Macon to Cordele. You don't have to build a rail spur in Valdosta, we've already got it. So we've got potential. All we need now is opportunity. And opportunity comes with vision. I remember when the late Jimmy Rainwater told me about a project that was going to happen on Loman Drive, and Loman Drive was a two-lane road. And the fire hydrants were 60 feet away from the road. And I told Mr. Mayor, those fire hydrants are too far out. It's a chief, be patient. One day I see high-rise hotels. I see shopping centers. I see restaurants all up and down this corridor. And you look at it today. That's vision, people. That's what we need to see in the hall, is a mayor with vision to work with council to get things done. I have that vision. I need your prayers, I need your support, and I want your vote. I'm J.D. Rice, and I want to be your next mayor. Thank you.
Sorry. Like I said earlier, we first need to identify what we want our council to be. This position of mayor does not have a magic wand. It doesn't just make all the things happen. You can't have the I mentality here. It's going to take we. It's going to take all of us, each and every one of you, to have a piece of the puzzle of what we want Valdosta to become. It doesn't take for us to sit back for the last 4, 8, however many years, and then come and give you these false narratives of we can make this happen. We've heard these same things before. We heard the same issues before. If you really wanted to make a true difference here in Valdosta, you have to. If you want to bring transportation here, you have to MPO. If you want to do anything in this city, you have elected officials right now that you can go to. My question is, where have they been? The magic wand does just not appear and then you just make everything happen here in Valdosta. So my plan is to improve the culture of Valdosta by focusing on strengthening the unity for each and every person here in Valdosta. We must implement it takes a village mentality. We must add back the neighbors to the neighborhoods. We must realize that regardless if you're black or white, young or old, conservative or liberal, or whatever your sexual preference is, we all have the same goal here, which is to create the best quality of life here in Valdosta for all generations to come. Being mayor to me isn't about the title or the recognition. It isn't about the money. It's about being in a position where you can advocate for the needs of the people for our city. That's why if I'm elected as your mayor, like I stated to you before, I vow to redistribute my entire mayoral salary back to our community. Instead, I will use those funds to create more youth programs. More youth programs. I will use those funds to provide more assistance to the local veteran affairs. I will allocate the money to help with the social work and our local nonprofits. Talk is cheap. And that's what they say about politics. Talk is cheap. Well, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. It's time that we start taking a more progressive approach towards making Valdosta better. On November gave us your 46th mayor of Valdosta, Georgia, so that we can work together to truly make Valdosta a city without limits by adopting my motto: one team, one fight, one Valdosta. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much. I really appreciate it. Angela, thank you. Angela Ward, we appreciate you being here. I want to thank you all for showing up. It takes a lot of work to put on a film festival, and when we had this extra day, thanks to Dr. Kaysen, who was gracious enough to let us use the facility to host our event. I had this one extra day, and I thought, what can I do with it? And I am so grateful, and I'm so proud that we chose to do this for the city. Because I'm going to tell you something, folks. We've been stagnant here in Valdosta for a long time. And this is hope right here on stage. Thank you so much for coming. Come speak at Film Festival. We're going to be showing movies all the way through Sunday. So thank you so much.
That's all I can do. Especially when they talk about it. We had it on the ballot and we got it further down.
Yes. I didn't hear that. Take time to research. Yes. That takes time. Oh yeah, it does. It does. That takes okay, all right, me too. Good seeing you. All right. Okay, we will. All right. Talking. All right, you take care. All right. Right, if it's in the same place, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Got the bell
I don't know. He was talking about buying gold overseas, getting from some
island or something. Like a little off too. I think he was a little more off. Courtney came in town.
How you doing? Sure. All right, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Where you staying?
In there.
This is it. This is it.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, thank you very much. I figured you had the right one. What's up, man?
Because the
Good, at least answer you.
is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. To God be the glory. Asking you to fill this place. My life is like an empty space. Trying hard to be like you. Lord, I need your guidance and strength to pull through. When I realize you're all I need, that's when I made the choice to be free.
Hey, man, I don't know